So I'm getting ready to pour now, and before I handle my containers full of epoxy, these here, I'm always going to put on these neoprene or nitrile gloves. And I definitely want the non-powderized kind because I don't want the powder going into my epoxy because I want it to be crystal clear. So I use a glove like this. You really don't want to get that stuff on your fingers because, well, you can use like denatured alcohol or acetone or something to clean it off. That's just a little hard on your hands. And boy, this stuff just sticks to everything and stays sticky, and it's really hard to clean off. So I definitely want to use my gloves. And so I'll start with putting in some of the hardener. It's always the hardener first, and then pour the resin into the hardener, which I've got a container down here and I'm getting it kind of warmed up. So I'm gonna pour equal amounts. Some people weigh it, I just eyeball it and I seem to come out pretty good. So right now I'm gonna pour about 6 ounces, so I'll just pour 3 of each in here, and then I'm gonna mix it with a stir stick that I've cleaned off first for about 3 minutes and scrape the sides often. I usually do like every 30-45 seconds because as you're mixing it, when you scrape the sides, you'll see how some of the resin sticks to the sides. You'll see the strings come out, and you just keep stirring it until your strings all disappear, and then it's probably ready. If you feel it getting really hot in your hand, it's probably starting to bake, and you should set it aside and start over. Otherwise, you may be making a great big mess. There will be some little bubbles even after it's all ready, but that's okay. Those will mostly come out. And one of the things you can do is when you pour it, if you hold your container about 1.5 feet, 18 inches over the surface and pour it in a thin stream, it forces some of those bubbles out. So you just pour it like you're pouring syrup or something, and I'll go around the outer edge first, all the way around the outer edge up to about a 1/2 inch from the very edge, trying to get it to where it's not pouring off yet. And then I go around in a spiral, pouring rails or lines of epoxy very close to each other, and get all the way around it. And then with the little bit that's left, I'll go back and forth to try to connect the areas of epoxy that are not communicating with each other. And then at the end, I'll take one of these nice foam brushes here, and I'm going to drag it out, not putting any pressure on it and moving slowly, and also not picking it up and putting it back down because that'll put bubbles into it. So I just keep going, you know, like this until I have the entire surface covered, and then I'll go around the edges and take it all the way out over the edge. We just want to get it all covered with the epoxy. And then we'll wait for about 15 minutes, and we'll take our MAP gas torch and heat out the bubbles. So I'll be showing you some of that in another video.